What? Yes. All right. Now that should be good eventually. Ah. Of course, the cat is licking her bum when I start streaming. Awesome. Thank you, cat. Yep, that's a cat. Yay, it's working good. Okay, so I will start again. I was saying hello everyone. Hello Ian, Otto, Dan, Val, Heather, and Grace. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so there is a distracting little kitten. So if I'm boring, you can check the cat. This one is Beko. She is a little lady. They're gonna turn 7 this month. Oh yeah, Val is reminding me, YouTube has implemented this new feature that it records the chat, so that when you replay the video as a video on demand, the chat is there. I am gonna disable it because I don't like this idea of the chat's content staying there forever. I prefer the chat to be free and happy, and you guys can just talk about whatever, and it's gonna be gone when the stream is over. So yeah, just a heads up that there is this new feature, but I checked it out, and I'm supposedly once the stream is over, I can go into the settings and make it unavailable during the replays. So there, just warning you guys about this sort of invasive new feature. Hello Malvina and Melissa and the E.T. Hi Laura. Alright, so yeah, like I said, this week I am sketching new things to paint because I ran out of sketches from last time. There was already 2 ideas. One was having Twinkles teach a bunch of kittens, and the other was about a spell that had gone wrong. So I will start sketching these 2, and feel free to pitch in new ideas and to just chat. That's perfectly fine. Hello Patricia and Maria. Welcome. Ian is saying that they should make it so you can live edit the chat and redact any bit of it. Yeah, yeah, possibly. That would be a lot of work. But I don't know, because Twitch has that feature. Twitch as a streaming platform saves up the chats, but I think Twitch has a different kind of audience, so I really don't know how that all works out. Yes, Heather, the levitation gone amok was your suggestion that I wrote down. The two of them flying on a broom, that's a really fun idea. Roger babysitting kittens. Okay, well. Val is saying, I just wish they made the chat replay you could choose instead of automatic and then disable. Yeah, I agree. It should be like, not something you have to adjust for every single stream after the stream is done, because that's kind of, it's easy to forget about it. Like, it comes after the whole thing. So yeah, you gotta go back into the settings of the video and then uncheck or check a box, and it's just, I would much prefer to have it in my settings somewhere that whenever I stream, you don't make the chat available. So instead of having to fix it for every single video, it feels kind of a stupid idea. Hello, Sam. To have, like, I don't know, I try to think in terms of having like this platform, and you make this option something that the user has to take care of for every single live stream. That's kind of a bit of an impractical oversight. I don't know if you guys know of the Kitten Academy channel on YouTube. It's basically this couple that takes care of foster kittens, and they often, I haven't been following them for long, but they have a cat mom at times that is pregnant, and then she gives birth and they take care of her and the kittens, and after that they get her neutered, spayed, I don't know. I don't know which one is for ladies, but yeah, so recently they had this lovely cat mom. Her name is Pumice. She's so great. She's such an attentive cat mom. But her babies, they're like, what, 5 weeks by now? 6 weeks? And and they are so annoying. Like, they just want to fight, and they sort of make her life really rough. But she's such a good cat mom, so it's kind of really funny to watch all the small kittens doing all the kitten stuff, which is being super intense and then falling asleep. And there is the mommy who is really attentive to her kittens. So that's a really fun one. Oh, I see that Otto has seen it. It's great. They are so cute. Oh, the little babies, the Pumice's babies, they are like the cutest kittens ever. And they were like these tiny little beings with eyes closed and no ears and basically no tails, and just like clumsily pawing around. So yeah. It's a good inspiration for this picture with Twinkle and the kittens. Not saying that they would be her kittens, but spay females, neuter males. Huh. Trying to find a way to remember that. Alright. Wow, Peko is looking really orange in the light. It's not so much the light as the camera settings. Like, my webcam is really not the best. So I tried to adjust it, but it's really painful to adjust. So she's a bit overexposed. But that suits her well. She's a cat that can manage to deal with a bit of being overexposed. And she's sleeping. Dan is saying, I was just watching The Secret Life of Kittens. Is this about... is this just about being like super intense and then falling asleep? Because basically kittens, they like... very, very baby kittens, they sleep and they eat. And after that, they run amok and they sleep and they eat. And eventually, like maybe 2 years in, they become natural, like they become what you expect a cat to be, but it takes a while. Neuter, nuts. That's a good one. I had that neuter is for male because if you look at the N and M letter in the alphabet, they are next to each other. So yeah. Overexposed, I mean she was licking her butt early. Yep. And she just heard the other cat being a bit of a cat in the other room. So I'm trying to figure out a kitten pile because that's what kittens do usually. Grace is saying that their cat is 5 and still acts like a dang kitten. Yeah, they have like these phases. Mine are 7 and they just started being a bit more calm. Patricia is saying, have you watched Simon's Cat on YouTube? Yes, been watching it for a long time, like back when he started doing the videos. Otto is saying, how many drawings will you be doing today? As many as I can fit into the duration. It's going to be mostly sketches because I am just like planning out ideas for the next one, and after that I will be like finishing the drawings on my own time, and then I will be painting them in the live, which is what usually happens. But the thing is with kittens is that they don't really stand still, so I am not so sure. I will try to set it up, like have some papers around and stuff, and you could have, you know, there's always this one kitten that doesn't want to fight. If any of you follow the kitten lady, she is also like fostering a bunch of kittens right now, and one of them, Barnaby, he's such a peaceful one. All the others, they're like fighting and being like rambunctious, but not this one. This little Barnaby one is like, he just want to sleep and he just want to be like he doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to play really, he just want to be like the cute little calm one. Otto is saying they were watching my last drawing live stream this morning and I have questions about printing the drawings. Oh yeah, sure, ask away. Maria is saying that her cats are raised by the dog and they are acting like mini dogs and they even play fetch. One kitten that's just sleeping the whole time and everyone's fighting on top of them. That happens so much. There's always this poor little cat that just want to be like peaceful, and they fight on top of this one, and they just like can't give him or her a moment of peace. Okay, question number 1. Assume you print your design onto watercolor paper. Actually, I don't. I print it on regular printer paper and I transfer it with a light pad. That doesn't work if you have really thick paper, like 300 pounds and that kind of stuff, but for 140 pound, that really works fine. Can Rogers just be peeking through the window, scared to come inside? I think I will have see if Rogers making a facepalm works with this one. Question number 2. If so, what printer do you use? I'm assuming laser for it to be waterproof. I've printed some sketches before, but I would usually print them like really faint on the paper, so there wasn't any kind of issues with waterproofness because I have a cheap inkjet printer. I am not sure how. Maybe you should ask Shade from City Saves the Day, because she prints her charts and she prints them onto watercolor paper, so perhaps she has more information about how to take care of that kind of stuff. In my personal experience, the stuff I have been able to print on in terms of thickness of paper, 90 pounds is not an issue. I think, depending on the printer, like my inkjet, I'm pretty sure it could take some 140 pound, but you have to trim the paper so it fits in the printer. So yeah, I don't know if that helps a lot, but yeah. Patricia is saying that her Casey, her cat, will be 18 on April 7. He was born in the house and is the last of all the gang. Every now and then he has kitten energy, then remembers his Yoda status and settles. Aww. Valerie is saying that the 2 cats who have adopted them have to be safe porch kitties because the dogs won't let them in. Oh. Aww. You can get printers that print on thicker paper, and possibly you could go through the, like if you have a print shop nearby, perhaps they would have more options. But as far as I can say about working from home, yeah, I have thought about it. Bonjour Christiane. I have thought about printing stuff on paper, but yeah, it's kind of difficult because the ink is not waterproof, but it's not like if you print something faint. So yeah, I'm not really sure. There could be a way to have I think a way that could work would have to have, like, if you have a specific setup for your swatches, you make a rubber stamp out of it and you could print it yourself on paper using waterproof ink, like stamp ink. Aww, Heather is saying that her Mayo would have been 18 on April 1st. Oh, she was an April's Fool kitten. Alright, let's get this one done so I can move on to drawing her, because I decided that she will be the one who's gonna, well, I decided, Heather helped me, but yeah, she's gonna be the one with the failed spell. Alright, so let's just keep this one there for now. And let's see if I can make this failed levitation spell one working. Might need more space. Oh, you can tell the group if you want to, Heather. That's really up to you. Oh, thank you so much, though. You don't have to tip me for answering questions. You're so kind, indeed. I'm here for that. Like, I might not know much, but ask away and we can figure it out as a group. Like, I know these sketches are really rough and kind of just not exactly telling what the final drawing is going to be like, but they are enough to set the idea, and then I can work from that. That looks like a vet pause. I don't know. When we go to the vets, both my cats, they're basically shedding stiff fur balls that really do not appreciate their time there. I feel like I'm always drawing Twinkle in the same pose, like sitting. I don't know why, but like setting up a cat's paw so that it's in front of their face is really oh yeah, it's really more difficult than I thought. I really have to study the anatomy of cats more, and I have these little plastic cats They're made by a German company, I think. Trying to see, yeah, Schleich. They make like animal miniatures, and I have a bunch, like I have a couple of them. And they have cats, but I mean, it's not a natural thing for cats to put their paw in front of their face, so it's always a bit more difficult for me to figure it out, since it's not exactly like a human limb. And my cats, they are not often in any ways to help, and I cannot ask them, hey, Pico, put your paw in front of your face, pretty please. I need to draw that. Oh, Patricia is saying that she's referring to the lifting of the tail for the inevitable thermometer. Yeah. Eep. Sorry about that. And yes, I would like to take a small moment to honor the memory of Mayo. And I probably say it wrong again, but she was Heather's cat, and she was like a good old little calico lady, and she's the one I'm gonna draw here. But yeah, and she, as Heather is saying, she had to say goodbye on Wednesday. So yeah, it's really not the easy part of having pets. That's why I wanted to include her in the drawing. I will look up references when I clean up this drawing so she really looks like her, but I was talking with Heather and we sort of came up with this idea of having Mayo be the subject of a failed levitation spell. Hi Lee. Water break. So yeah, this is basically the little sketch of the failed levitation spell, and there would be like a sparkly bum because of the magic. And of course she was a calico, so she had spots, but off the top of my head I cannot remember exactly where they were. So I will of course look up references to figure out where the spots go. Alright. Flying on a broom. Aww. May Mayo enjoy all of the catnip on the other side of the rainbow bridge. Yep. And now everyone's drinking water. I always forget to drink water. Mowing down the cat grass with all the other lovelies. Yeah. Lee is going to the bathroom to to hang around a bit with the chat. I think most of us here can relate to that. Oh, dinner party. Unless they are with other introverts. I am using a Wacom tablet, the graphic tablet. It's basically like, this one is a Cintiq, so it's the, I'm sorry, this is the model with a screen. And the screen, it's a bit like when you have an iPad Pro with Procreate and the Apple Pencil. It's exactly the same idea, but it's an older technology. So instead of being a small tablet, it's like a bigger tablet that needs to be hooked up into the computer and that you can draw on and see what you do. So yeah, drawing with a mouse, I haven't done that in so many years, because even before I had this one, I had the regular graphic tablet where you still draw using like a digital pen, and even if there were models without any screen, it was really easy to sync up the hand movement and what we were seeing on the screen. It's a bit like playing a game where you sort of can get used to using the controller without looking at it all the time. So it's the same idea. Sorry. And how do I talk and draw at the same time? Not very well, apparently, because I've been talking and not drawing. But yeah. Oh yeah, so for the story, Mayo was named after meiosis, the division of cells leading to gametes. She had a marking that looked like a cell with the cleavage furrow, and Heather is a science geek. Kind of funny because I've been doodling cats and brooms a lot lately for the comic I do with Mr. E. We have a type of creature in our comic setting that are basically a bunch of little cat mages, but they're not, unlike Twinkle, they are more like they stand on their two legs. Well, yeah. So that's more like this instead of, you know, a real cat that sits down like this. But yeah, I've been drawing them on brooms and their magic lately for the comic. They're called the Mages of the Paw. I really like them. Heather is saying, well, yeah, that it was time for Mayo, and that, yeah, that's the. I don't think that brings the chat down too much, because that's part of it, and it's easier if we can talk about this kind of stuff like more openly and freely, and not associate it with sadness all the time, because that's something I really struggle with. And yeah, it's sadly part of the deal. When you get a pet, not many pets will live as long as humans do, so we have to accept the fact that there's always this part that is not really nice. Yeah, Otto is saying that we are all cat lovers here, and we understand her pain, and wouldn't want her to go through it on your own, on her own. Yeah, The comic is The Thief of Tales. Yeah, I'll see if I can open up an image of the Mages of the Paw because I really like them, but it's an image that hasn't been drawn by me. Like, it's been drawn by Mr. E. He's the one doing the art for the comic because he is really, really good. Really, really, really good. I am biased, of course, but still. Let's see if I can find it. Yikes. Heather is offering her cats as models for the picture. So Mr. E is also an artist. Yes, he is. This is not working like I want. Oh, maybe in there. What out there? Yeah, the cat loaf Pico is sleeping. Hello, Mickey. Yeah. Like them so much. So yes, these are the Mages of the Paw. Oh, mystery is becoming less of a mystery if you tell us these things. Well, still. Oh, Val, I hope your doggy will get better soon. Alright, so back to sketching. Yeah, he is very talented. That's why he's doing all the art for the comics, so it's actually really pretty. He's also very fast. So there. Okay, broom. What about if I have like the broom hovering? Because I don't know, I've drawn a lot of people being like on brooms a lot lately, and we could have Twinkle's like asleep on the broom because cat, and then have Roger again. Oops. That was a very big face. Like, he's always hanging on to things. Help! Help! I'm always falling from stuff. And like, Twinkles doesn't care. Yeah, I hope your dog will really get better soon, Val. That really sounds like something that is a bit difficult to manage. Heather is saying that maybe Rogers has vestibular disease as well, and that's why he's always falling. Yep. That... Trying to think how they do with Gigi in Kiki's delivery service, but the cat can barely hold on to the broom and bag. Trying to think of a way that the cat could hold on to a broom. Yeah, Gigi still sits on top or is in her bag at the beginning, I think, when she does her first travel and she meets up with the other witch and the haughty cat. Ah, bread loaf style. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I love me a good cat loaf. It's the hover cat pose. Like no paws, no tail, no nothing but loaf. What's the fancy cat do at the beginning of the movie? What I was talking about, it's in Kiki's delivery service when Kiki flies away on her broom for the first time, like when she goes to the town. She flies at night and she meets up another witch, I think, who has her stuff together a whole lot better than Kiki. And where you have Kiki with her bag and she's like losing stuff and sort of winging it, the other witch is super well put together and she has a really fancy look, a really fancy pose, and a really fancy cat who's like really looking down his nose at Kiki and Gigi. Twinkles needs a bright moon behind her broom, yes. Oh, I think the cat was just sitting on the broom, the fancy cat. The movie is Kiki's Delivery Service. It's a Studio Ghibli. Kind of, I really don't know how to say it because it's like French and English and what little I know of Japanese all like mashing together in my brain. But yeah, it's a good movie. I'll be honest and say that I liked it mostly because of cats. It's not my favorite movie from them. My favorite movie is, of course, The Cat Returns. Because cats. It's also really funny. Really, really funny. Like, The Cat Returns is a really funny movie. Ghibli. Ah, yeah. Okay, thanks. Otto is saying that it's pronounced Ghibli in Japanese. yeah, the as far as I can say, there are 3 movies that have like cats featured in some way in them from Studio Ghibli. There is My Neighbor Totoro, and I have to say I haven't watched many Ghibli movies. They are really pretty, they are really great, but some of them, they always like depress me. I don't know why. I think there's something like all this marvelous world and then you always come back down to earth and it's kind of depressing. But yeah, there is My Neighbor Totoro, which has the cat bus. There is Kiki's Delivery Service that has Gigi and the white cat. And there is of course The Cat Returns, which is not a movie that is made by Miyazaki, but that has a lot of cats in it, and it's really funny. It's basically the story of a young girl who saves a cat from being hit by a car, and as it turns out, the cat she saved is the prince from the Cat Kingdom. So they show their gratitude to her in really cat ways, and it sort of goes awry from there, and it's really funny. There is a big old cat, super grumpy white cat, that is called Muta, and it's really funny. There's a really old one called The Cat from Outer Space. I saw this poster recently. It's not a Ghibli movie, but yeah. Aww, Malvina has a Totoro and a Kiki cat. Otto is saying, has anyone seen the documentary where they followed the making of one movie at the Ghibli studio? It's fascinating. I wish I had. Oh yeah, Whisper of the Heart has Muta, the fat cat from The Cat Returns. It's the fat white cat. Along with Baron, yeah. That's where they come from. I think Whisper of the Heart came before The Cat Returns. And you have these two perhaps like making an appearance in it, and then they have their own movie with The Cat Returns. I think I'm gonna give Roger a break on this one. It's gonna be sleeping on Twinkle's hat. And yeah. Oh, 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 cat stretch. Aww. Puss in Boots as a standalone movie was really fun as well. They did such silly things with Humpty Dumpty. Oh wow. How many cats is that, Malvina? Yeah, Pecco did the really famous 180 flop, which consists of basically standing up, stretching, and doing a half turn and sitting back down again. Pico has now become the model for the moon. Yeah, she's my little donut. Oh, I should save this though. That would be the clever thing to do. Yeah, I know you're all here for the cat. Oh, Malvina has 9 cats. Wow. I only have 2. Alright, what was the other idea? Roger babysitting the kittens. That's not something that can end well for him. And then he's saying that having 9 cats must be what it's like to live in heaven. Random side question: How do you all store loose pages practice pieces? I'm trying to clean my workspace and this is beginning to be a problem. Well, most of the practice random stuff, most of it happens in sketchbooks. If there is nothing interesting about the sketchbook, I just toss it away once it's done. I try to toss a lot of sketches and random bits because yeah, that makes for a lot of paper at the end. Otherwise I put them in boxes or envelopes. A pile on the kitties. Make these really young kitties. Then we have a kitten bum here. And we have our Roger beneath the pile of kittens. Hey, hello Lee! Welcome to the live stream! Lee is saying that her cat makes noises like a cat in a blender when he sees other cats outside. thing is with very young kittens is that they don't have their eyes open yet. Totally inspired by Pumice and her babies. I really encourage you to go check out Pumice. She is such a pretty kitty and such a good cat mom. It was the first time I saw a mom cat like have her babies, because they have like a live cat feed all the time, so they broadcasted when she had her babies, and it was really weird. It's kind of not something I had seen before, because when you think on it, that's an animal that has many babies at once, but there can be like an hour between like babies coming out, so it's a really strange process. Right, something new. Water break. Maria is saying that she named her 2 cats after her favorite sweets, Kit Kat and Salta. What is a Salta? I don't think I've heard of this one before. Oh yeah, odd topic. Isn't it weird how, like, I'm gonna use the US and Canada as a difference because, as an example, because we're basically like glued together. But like, what is it? Like, why is it that in the US you guys don't have any ketchup flavored chips and coffee crisps? That is so weird. Well, I drink a lot because I talk a lot. This is not something I do usually, so I really don't drink a lot of water usually. Because when I'm alone in here, I don't talk as much. You say that, but have you had a coffee crisp or ketchup flavored chips? There is no all dressed chips in the US. What? Okay, this is funny because crisps are different here and in the UK, but coffee crisp is a chocolate bar. It's called crisp because it has a wafer in it, but it's basically like kind of a coffee flavored cream, but it's kind of a dry cream, and it has a wafer and chocolate. It's not a salty like chips. It's not like crisps like the potatoes. all dressed chips is basically all the flavors. Like you have barbecue, ketchup, salt and vinegar. It's kind of a mix of everything. Well, in my opinion, the tastes. Yeah, and I saw like there are Marmite crisps or chips in the UK, and like all sorts of fun stuff that I find funny. But I mean, I can understand if we have stuff that is not in Europe or in the UK, but like in the US, that's right next to us. And yeah, there is like I've sent boxes of stuff here that like Tim Hortons chocolate, and I don't even like Tim Hortons, but yeah, like coffee crisps and ketchup, coffee crisp with chocolate, and ketchup flavored crisps, which are the chips, the potato ones, and the all dressed potato chips as well. Yeah, BBQ, vinegar, ketchup, everything. I didn't realize that all dressed was a Canadian thing. We have pickled potato. We have all sorts of weird potato chips. Like they tried to be edgy with their potato chips. I saw one which was like cinnamon bun, and I was like, maybe not. I don't really want a cinnabon potato chip. I'm okay. Though cinnamon and sugar potato chips are really good. And I kind of like Marmite, but not Vegemite. I've tried both, and Vegemite is gross. And Marmite is kind of decent on a toast with vegan butter. Oh, so oh yeah, prawn cocktail. Yeah, that would be really similar to well, if it's prawn cocktail is the sauce, right? It's like the spicy tomato sauce that you can dip your prawns in it, your shrimps, because that's really similar to ketchup. Yeah. Roast chicken. Oh, sugar on popcorn. That's basically caramel popcorn. That's fine. Yeah. Grace is saying that Lay's has contests to suggest new flavors, and you can guess how that goes with Americans. Yep. Actually, all the special flavors of Canada Lay's were pretty gross. I seem to remember them being so. I cannot eat Lay's anymore because there is dairy in all of their stuff, and I'm not sure if that's a really sad thing, but yeah, the ones I remember seeing, there was stuff like gratin, which is, you know, when you have potatoes and you put cheese on it and you put that in the oven, and there's probably some kind of cream sauce on with that, and stuff like, yeah, the cinnamon ones, and I think there was like a Thai flavor. It was really weird stuff that was not really appealing. Ham flavored Lay's. Mac and cheese flavor. Oh no. Was there a poutine flavor? Or was that the gratin one? Yuck. The Cutter brand chips are really better, but they're really greasy. Like when you get at the bottom of the bag, there's like all the oil that has settled down at the bottom. Montreal steak spice. Oh, welcome back, Val. So we have moved to chips. Yeah, we're talking about potato chips. Because I was saying that I think it's funny how, like, for two countries that are so close, like US and Canada, like here we have flavors of potato chips and sweets that are not found in the US, like the coffee crisp chocolate bar and the ketchup potato chips and the all dressed potato chips apparently. Cinnabon chips. Ooh. Well, yeah, I say that, but one of my favorite chips, potato chips, is there's a thematic restaurant not too far. Well, it's in Montreal, but it's called the Red Dragon, and it's a medieval thing, and their menu is really simple. They have like a bunch of supposedly traditional medieval fare, but they also have like burgers and potato chips, and they have like 3 types of potato chips. They have like French fries. They have a big barbecue spicy quarter of potatoes, and they have like these things that are really like potato chips but with cinnamon and sugar on it, and it's really delicious. It's a bit like a donut because it's basically just, you know how you have some potato donuts and you dip them in sugar? Well, the potato chips with cinnamon and sugar, it's basically the same taste. Chris is saying that their husband just got home and he broke out the sun chips they forgot about with the hero. And oh wow, Otto just got from their husband freshly baked apple pie. Save me a part. Save me a bit of. I got nothing. We're gonna go grocery shopping later, I guess. Oh. Chips and salsa. So that's nacho chips, right? Tortilla chips? Aw. Well, if you bake pies, Otto, that's already like a huge step up. That's awesome. I wish I could bake pies and not feel guilty about it, but yeah. And also, like, vegan butter is not really up there for baking. Alright, so what do I draw now? Ooh, ice cream and peaches. Mmm. Are those fresh peaches? Aw, that's so great. Otto is saying that their husband knew about the live stream and he said he'll take care of the baking bit so they could sit and watch instead. It's so nice. A feast for Twinkles and Rogers. So basically a lot of meat, and I have no clue what mice eat. Oh, you're making me blush, Otto. I am blushing. Kitten eating crisps. Well, they can't eat crisps. That's not good food for kittens. Kittens, they need either their mom's milk or, well, they are carnivorous. Cats are carnivorous, so they need to eat meat. Pico is being such a good camera cat. Mice eat anything. Nuts, cheese, bread, coffee crisps. Oh, I wouldn't want to see kittens eating coffee crisps. They would be so hyper. Peko likes tortilla chips. It's not good for them, but yeah, they will eat stuff that is basically just salty and greasy. Okay, so a feast for these. There will definitely be some fish, because cats, they like fish. And fish is generally safe for cats. Oh, really? Otto is asking if it's true that if you feed cats too much salt, their fur will fall out. It's kind of weird because cats, they need specific things in their diets, like taurine and ash a bit. So I wouldn't risk it to make my own food for them, and we really don't give them a lot of treats because it doesn't work with them when even if I give them like a tiny bit of fish or something, like they will often have repercussions effects on their digestion after. And like I said many times, Scout is allergic to chicken, so yeah, we don't give them, we always give them like miniature bits, or sometimes I will just let them lick my fingers when I've like handled some fish or ham, and they will lick the tip of my finger and then I remove it, because they like their food, it's good for them, and the less you mess up a cat's food, the better. Because they are, I think they have like a really fragile stomach, so you cannot switch their food like really abruptly. You have to carry it over from one type of food to the other, like by incorporating a bit, then a bit more, then a mix that's 50-50, then you have to like to make it part of their process as smoothly as possible. Alright, so fish, cheese, of course. How could I forget that mice like cheese? It's like the most obvious thing that they put in all the kids' book. Hi Lena. Lena Goes Art is saying that it's so funny because their dog is the same. He can't eat chicken and has a sensible stomach. Yeah, same with my Torty cat. Like we have to give her dry food that is for sensible stomachs, and we give them canned food that has no chicken in it at all. Yeah, it's really fun. Heather is saying that sometimes she messes up with the cats and puts some of their favorite kibbles on one side of the door with them on the other, and they reach under to get the food. It's like whack-a-mole but with paws. It's really cute. Yeah, milk is not good for cats. Well, milk is not good for anyone unless you're a baby and you're drinking milk from your species. I mean, don't get me started on dairy and milk, but yeah. How many cats have I had? With these two, only 3. I had a cat when I was a kid. Then my brother has a cat, but it was always like my cat and his cat, but yeah. And then I had these 2. But yeah, not enough. But the thing is that the first cat I had when I was 5, and at some point I had to change town to go study. And yeah, and eventually, well, he got old and passed away, and it was really difficult. So it took me some time before I was like ready to have other cats, and also I wanted to be there with the kittens at first, because kittens, first of all, they don't really have a good survival instinct. They will get stuck in the worst place possible, and they will hurt themselves if you don't watch them. And also I wanted to bond with the cats, so it took some time before I had the kind of a job situation where I was able to be home and take care of the cats. Definitely not enough, of course, but yeah, I think I got the most cat I was able to get yet. Hopefully in the future I will be able to have even more cats, but for now this is as good as it gets. Otto is saying that their husband and them can't do cow milk either. Maybe they are cats. I cannot do any kind of dairy, and I don't know, I know so many people that have issues with dairy. I know more of them than I know people who are good with it. So, and I struggle with the logic of the idea too, so. Oh, Jazz. So just to give a bit of context, Otto got a hamster that is named Jazz, and she was sleeping, but now she woke up. I never had any hamsters. I've had fishes that well, fishes are kind of hard to care for. Sorry, but I'm really not good with poor little fishes. And a cat, and that's all. And yeah, I agree. Lana is saying that it's very responsible to wait to get cats so you can care for them the best way possible. That's something that I think is really important for me. Like, I've seen people get kittens, like they would get only one kitten and they would never be home, and I think that's really sad because the cat is bored and they will often develop bad habits from that. So, I mean, if you are to get cats and you're not there, see if you can get adults and then see if you can get 2 cats. So at least they will not like be bored. They will have a friend to play with and something to do. Oh, wow. Otto is saying that they've had 7 hamsters. And yes, 2 cats are so much more fun than 1 cat. I never had any lucks with poor fishes. Like, I think being a kid and not really knowing how to care for the fish has always led to some early demises. Alright, so I got fish, this is supposed to be bread, I got cheese. Oh, I should put some pumpkin bits in there, because cat can eat pumpkin. That's okay for them. And it's a nice witchy fall veggie. Is it a veggie? Yeah, dogs, I've never had dogs. I'm not against the idea, but I would never have a dog if I know I'm not gonna be there. Or at least in a situation where, say, I would work somewhere and be able to eat at home, to see the dog and, you know, care for it. Because, yeah. Grace is saying that elder cats are often not adopted and need some love. That's absolutely true. Like, many people say they don't want a cat because they don't want to deal with the kitten, but there are so many adult cats to adopt, and often all they want is like a bit of food, a warm place to sleep, and a couple of hugs. So yeah. I've never had birds. I don't really connect with birds. I find them loud and shrill. Otto is saying that they love the temperament of old cats and it's so hard for them to find new homes. That's really true. Well, yeah, that's true. Melvina has a bird, but if I could have, like, her bird, or maybe a crow or a raven. But all the birds I've interacted with were either like something like parrots, or I don't know the names in English, but you know, really, yeah, cocasiel, that. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm okay, but I wouldn't get one for myself. Like, I have a friend who has one of those cocasiel there, and it's just like a weird bird, and it also he bit me for no reason, so yeah. Oh, a raven neighbor coming to the feast would be really fun. Oh, I like this, and I could perch him on the pumpkin. I'm lucky you guys are there. You have great ideas. Okay, so watch me draw a bird in the simplest way possible and laugh. Because I really don't know how to... I'm gonna need references, I think, to be able to do justice to the birds, but yeah. There we go, a bird. Who doesn't want the joy of having a kitten? Yeah, it's fun, but it's not always suited for everyone. Like, if I take my parents who are older, they are too old to run around chasing a kitten and checking it every hour of the day. So sure, kittens are great, but a lot of people, they prefer to have older cats. Like I have a friend who took in a cat that was 1 year old, no longer a kitten, because she's working and she doesn't have the time to stay at home and take care for a kitten. Wow. Alright, so Mr. E just showed me a picture of Scout where she is right now. She tunneled herself in the pile of clean laundry and she's sleeping under the pile of clean laundry, but there's a there's just a small piece of fur that's poking out from between clothes. It's really funny. Like she made her nest in the warm in the warm clothing. Cockatiel. Okay, cool. I was saying it in French. Un cockatiel. I draw birds regularly, but that doesn't mean I haven't drawn that many raven. And I don't know, I can draw stuff with reference, but from memory that's kind of more difficult. Like I don't necessarily register what I draw from reference, which is a bit of a problem. Oh, Otto is saying that they adore cats but don't like kittens. But that's okay. I mean, yeah, like you say, it's makes you a perfect candidate for adopting older cats and taking care of I mean, a cat is a cat. They still need love and hugs and... I think a lot of people, they say, oh, I want kittens, but they're not ready to commit to what a kitten will ask of them. Like, especially like people who get pets for their kids. It's not easy. I should draw Roger sitting on the piece of cheese. I think I'm gonna put grapes in there because grapes are great. Alright, another silly thing, grapes. Have you guys noticed how, like, regular grapes at the grocery store, like, if I buy regular grapes, I will get the worst stomachache in the world, but if I buy, like, organic grapes, I'm fine. And I don't know why. Like, technically it's the same table grapes. There's not anything, like, special about them. But I really noticed that, yeah. Like, usually organic stuff is so pricey that I don't necessarily go for it, but for grapes, that's sort of mandatory because, yeah, no one enjoys a stomachache. Grace is saying that a lot of people don't understand that kittens or puppies take a lot of time, energy, training, and money. Yeah. And you have to get them spayed and neutered, and I mean, we almost had a problem with Peko because she got stuck in the part of the kitchen that's like the counter in the kitchen. There's like the back of the counter, and there's like a section, and there's about like 2 inches of space between both where there is no dishwasher. And I grabbed her just as she was about to stuck herself in there, and it would have been impossible for her to back up. And I'm like, they're so curious and they just want to explore, and they really don't care about survival. So yeah, kittens, they are like a handful, and you cannot just get a kitten and leave it to go, like to do its stuff during the day. My brother has 3 cats, and he was able to get them. First of all, he got 3, so there's at least that. and he has a special room for his cats, so they know that when they leave they can put the cats in there, they close the door, and it's safe. It's a safe spot that has been like it has been like all set up to be safe for the cats. So yeah. Okay, back to grapes. Otto is saying, are there seeds in one and not the other? No, they're basically the same, like the red or the green grapes, the table grapes, and you get the both kinds. Like, they look really similar. They're basically the same thing. Patricia is saying that it's the spray they put on them. Ugh. Ugh. Grapes. Laura is saying grapes are a high pesticide crop. Possibly. Yeah, that would explain. But I've tried like washing regular grapes and really being thorough about it, and they would still have this weird effect, which is not great. Just looking at the chat. Apparently there are issues about horses as well. Like, people get horses and they don't really expect the amount of care that is needed. Is that it? It is sad how some people use pets as a fashion statement. I agree. I think it's mostly dogs that, like small dogs, that have this problem. Oh, okay. Patricia's saying that the spray doesn't come off. Ugh. Yuck. We could really do with taking better care of the animals that live with us, like even the non-domesticated ones. Otto is pushing me to buy organic grapes so I stay alive as long as possible to do live streams. Oh, okay. Patricia's saying that the sprays are devised to stay on because of rain. Ooh. Well, I should probably end this stream soon. I'm just gonna finish this sketch. It's been what? An hour and a half? This project is going to be a great one for me to learn how to draw sitting cats. Yeah, when I pack orders or letters, I often use packing tape, and there is always like well, not Peko because she's sort of the lighter cat, but there's always like cat hairs in there. That's cannot do without. I agree. Did you? I'm pretty sure there was some in the tape, but I will make it a special effort to to tape my cats first and then tape the next package. yeah, small dogs, they're not... I am not much of a dog person, so, yeah. Like, I like certain dogs, but small dogs, not really my thing. They are often, yeah, the yappy, and I don't know, I'm used to cats, and anybody who has cats will know that they are very clean. I think Pico is dreaming. Yeah, she's twitching. So yeah, yeah, the small dogs, I'm used to cat being super clean, and I see small dogs, they look like greasy, and I'm just like, well, what? I don't understand what I'm seeing. It's like the size of a cat, but it's not a cat, so why bother? Just get a cat instead. No? I'm really not like, I'm not doggy trained. Like, it took me being exposed to dogs to get used to them, so maybe I should just get exposed to smaller dogs so I would get used to them. I'm just not used to this animal. It doesn't behave like a cat. Like, a cat, if it wags its tail, it's annoyed, but a dog, if it wags its tail, it's happy. So this is what I don't... Oh, and I got attacked by a dog at least once, so there. Not the best experience ever. The bird, this bird, is a visitor at the moment, but I think I'm gonna make him a regular, because I would really love to have a raven or a crow, or perhaps a magpie. I really like magpies. Oh, we have a magpie-based character in our comic. So yeah. Pico is getting all dark. Alright, thanks for being there, Val. Seriously, I really appreciate it. If you disappear, well, bye. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure dogs are awesome too. Like, I know of people that have awesome dog. Christian is one of them, and my stepsister has, is that the word? Anyway, one of Mr. E's sister has like great dogs as well, and the Mr. E's parents, they had dogs that I got used to, and that was fine, but it's just so weird because I've had both experiences. I've had good experiences with dogs and really bad ones, and I never had that kind of range of experience with cats. Malvina approves of the magpie. Well, it could be Manu the magpie. Magpies are from the corvids family too, right? Heather is saying that their neighbor has a small dog whose leg they stepped on and broke and never got fixed. What? And the dogs like to stand on people and leave paw prints of mud on clothing. Yummy. Heather has started training him so he doesn't do that to her, since he runs free. Of course he does. But yeah, I share Otto's outrage that they never got the leg fixed. Oh, sister-in-law, thank you so much, Jan. That's the word I was failing to find in my brain. Sister-in-law, yes. Oh. That could be like a some kind of feast for, I don't know what could be a proper holiday for these critters. To have candles around and a top hat for them. That's funny. Well, then Roger would need the hat, the special hat for the occasion as well. You can't be the only one without a hat in this situation. Oh. Nah, that doesn't look like anything. Maybe you could have like just a kind of a wizard hat but with no rim. Well, a wizard hat. The thing that looks like the pajama version. Because he's an apprentice after all. Alright, catching up on chat. Grace is saying that their first time in a dog park in the city with a greyhound, they've been told to not take her to regular parks as they have different needs. Oh. Okay, like a special park where the greyhound can run and do his greyhound stuff. Mickey is saying, would you say that cat people are more introverted? Yes. I think it's a prerequisite. Dog parks I think are really useful in big cities because there is no space. People don't have yards and there are a lot of apartments that don't have any access to space for animals. We have some in the city here too that they converted old parks to have them as being just places with grass and a couple of enrichment thingies to have the dogs run and somewhere where they can spend all their energy if they want to. There is often like a space for bigger dogs and a space for smaller dogs. Yes, like Grace is saying, in the city having an off-leash area that is safe for dogs. Like you have to have your pets on a leash, but when you get to the dog park it's fenced, so you can remove the leash and they will be allowed to just run around. Grace, do you follow, I'm blanking on her name. She's this really kind illustrator from England and she has a greyhound and a pug. I wish I could remember her name. But yeah, as you're saying, Grace, that greyhounds can jump very high and get hurt easily as they don't have a lot of body fat and thin skin. Something similar, something in that sense happened to her greyhound. The dog jumped and when he landed with one of his paws in a hole, so the leg broke. And it was not a good break and eventually they had to amputate the leg. And yeah, it's like, I mean, look at the greyhound, it's all tall and thin. So I can see what that happened, but oh yeah, Holy Hexley, yeah, Holy Hexley, like Dan says. And you can check up her past vlog and she talks about it, and it's very difficult, and she's struggling with it because it's kind of a difficult decision to take. But the dog seems to be doing really great now, and I think that's really great with animals, is that they will manage. Like something that would be really depressing for us or unsettling for our psyche, animals, they don't have this sort of barrier. They just want to keep going, so they learn to deal with their situation. So yeah, she has a 3-legged greyhound now, and I think he's doing fine, as fine as he can. But I mean, it's not something that bothers him on a regular basis. He's just learned to deal with having one less leg. Otto is saying that they love that the internet provides us introverts with somewhere to be sociable and meet similar people in a way that is comfortable for us. Exactly. And also people from all around the world, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The animals, they adapt really better than, like, I've heard of so many 3-legged cats and dogs, and there's even I was following a Twitter account, not Twitter, Instagram account. I think it was a cat, like cats with no hind legs, no front legs. One of them, like some of them, they don't even have legs at all, and of course there are difficulties like using the litter box, but they're not miserable necessarily. So it's really impressive. It's really different. Right, so that's it for this one. I think I'm gonna close everything and finish the stream here, unless you have any last minute questions. Oh yeah, that's right. Malvina has a bird that's blind, and he seems to be doing fine. Cats without tails, yeah. That's really common. Can do a quick check of all the sketches we have. So there's gonna be this feast one. There we have one of Roger babysitting a pile of kitten with or without mom cat being there. The loaf broom. It's a great one. Another version of the broom. The failed levitation spell that decided to only levitate the butt. And trying to teach a class with a bunch of rambunctious kittens. So that's gonna be the sketches I'm gonna paint in the coming weeks. So yeah, next week is gonna be painting one of these sketches. So I really hope I'll be able to see you next week, and until then, have a great time. Go pet your pets, and steal one if you don't have one. And yeah, I will give pets to Pecco and Scout for everyone who wants me to. And I would like to to say a special thank you to Miss Donut Kitten Pecco, who stayed with us the whole stream. And she's still there. So have a great weekend, everyone. Take care, and hopefully we can see each other and talk again soon. And I wish you all the best. Bye bye.